where we talk about movies. Tonight, we've got special guest Victoria Vertuga, who's an actress, filmmaker, writer, director, producer, everything, all of the above. Without further ado, welcome to Movie Night.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, you're welcome.
It's movie night, baby, movie. Movie night, baby. Movie night, baby, movie night, baby. Movie night, baby, movie night, baby. Movie night, baby. Watch a movie and we talk about it. And we talk about it on the show. About it on the show. Movie night. Movie night, baby. 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 Hey ho, and I guess what I do. Oh, movie night on YouTube. Hey ho, and I guess what I do. Movie night on YouTube, babe. Movie night, baby. 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 It's movie night, baby. It's movie night, baby. 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 Movie night, baby.
All right, it's movie night, baby. It's movie night.
That is gonna be in my head for like 9 years. I'm just gonna jam out to your movie night theme song. That is so catchy.
Yes.
I'll be trying to
Yes.
fall asleep tonight and be like, movie night. 100%. It's happening.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, that's the goal. I wanted to get people stuck in people's heads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's awesome. All right, everyone. So tonight on Movie Night, we're joined by actress, writer, producer, and director Victoria Vertuga. Victoria is a USC graduate who began her career in front of the camera with appearances on shows like Dexter and Days of Our Lives before expanding into writing and producing her own projects. She's the co-creator of the dark comedy web series Disgraced, which played at over 40 festivals and picked up more than 20 award nominations along the way. Victoria also made her feature directorial debut with the horror film Lexi, which I just saw. We'll talk about that. And her film Cold Blows the Wind has earned multiple festival awards and built a strong following among genre fans. Please welcome movie night actress and filmmaker Victoria Vertuga.
Thank you for having me and pronouncing my
Yay.
name right. We're just winning. We're doing so good.
We are winning. Yes. Okay, good. Yeah. You know what's funny? I guess I never officially asked the correct.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
pronunciation.
I can't tell you. First of all, I get called Veronica like more than Victoria all the time. People always want to call me Veronica. I don't know what it is about me that just like gives off a Veronica vibe, but like I just answer to it, you know?
Right. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I
The
want
V.
to
Yeah. So same with my name, Tremain or Germain. Or,
Tremain.
Yeah. They'll always.
sure.
Yeah. They always say that. But so yeah. So okay. So you went to USC.
I
Was it
did.
you? Did you go to USC Film School?
I mean, no. So I actually worked in the film school, no, but my major was music industry. So they have USC is awesome because they have a lot of like very specific entertainment focused programs because obviously we're in LA. So they have like video game things, they have music things. So I originally wanted to be a songwriter, or I was a songwriter.
Wow.
So I worked in the music biz for like my first 2 years after graduating. But yeah, my degree was basically like a music business degree. It had a built-in business minor, and then I also had minors in theater and minors in communications. So yeah.
Wow. Dang.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome.
a type A overachiever, you know, that's my
Right. Yeah. So I'm guessing you probably had at least a 4.0. in high
yeah,
school.
yeah,
Yep.
magna cum
Oh, yeah.
laude. Yes, I did. Yes, I
Wow.
did. Yes.
Where were you from originally?
San Diego, faraway land down the
Oh,
road. Yeah. So,
SD. Okay.
yeah. So I grew up,
Nice.
I was born in the Bay Area, and then my family actually moved to the UK, and I lived there till I was 5, and then back to the Bay Area for a few years, and then mostly San Diego.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's cool. I went to college there. I wasn't
Yeah.
didn't have the grades for USC, so I went to San Diego State.
Yeah, SDSU is
So,
a party school.
yeah.
Yeah, a couple of my
Oh,
cousins
yeah.
have gone there. It's great though. Yeah.
No, it is great. Yeah, for school wise, it's
Yeah.
great. But yeah, okay, so you've been acting for a while. You said you did music and then you did acting. What brought you to acting? And
Yeah, so I actually always wanted to do it. Like I've always been interested in performing and always like had a love for it. But because I said I'm very type A, right? So I kind of thought that the unpredictability and the craziness of it would not be like a good fit for me, and that I would prefer something like more I don't know, stable and steady, right? Which is why I was like, let me work on the business side of entertainment, and maybe that will be like a happy medium. Maybe that will like scratch the itch and also be stable and be great. And I friggin' hated it. I had like the worst job ever, and it was great because it forced me to do what I wanted to do anyway, right? And it taught me that actually for me, like freedom and flexibility is so much more important to me than stability. It was different from what I had expected. Like I get bored extremely easily, and like the monotony of like a day job like that is just, it just makes me crazy. Like I can't, the same people, the same things every day, talking about the same stuff, like just it was just not good for me. So it was great because it I don't think I would have known that otherwise, right? So it kind of just was the jolt I needed to like pursue what I really wanted to pursue.
that's great. I mean, finding out what you want to do is also finding out what you don't
Oh.
want to do, right? Yeah. So I think that's what's cool about you, and I think a lot of actors some actors are getting the wind of this, is that you've been in a lot of other things, but then you started producing your own stuff and directing your own things. And I think a lot of actors are they just they rely so much on the whim of others, right? They're like, oh, well,
Correct.
I have to have, I really hope this person likes me and that I fit the role for the audition and stuff. So what made, and also I want to talk a little bit about your like Dexter credits. That's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah, that was my second ever TV credit. And that was the first show I was on that like I was a fan of. Like I watched Dexter and I was so excited. My scenes were with Michael C. Hall, and like I was like in his apartment and I was like, this is so weird, like it was such a cool experience. They were super, super nice. The bummer about it, this is something that happens to actors all the time, is that what I originally shot and like was booked for in the edit ended up being very different. So it is what it is. But the director was so kind. He like let me know ahead of time, even, which is so unheard of. He was like so lovely. And he's like, oh, I just want to let you know it had nothing to do with you. Like, this is what it's going to be. They like made it mostly a montage at the beginning of the episode instead of like how it was originally planned. But still the experience was really cool. Again, so cool to be on a show that like I'm an active fan of, and like that is like, has been in my living room for all these years, and now I'm part of it. So that was really cool. Just a really, really, really cool experience.
Wow. Awesome. And then Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
Soap opera acting. What was that like?
Yeah, that was my very first TV credit. So that was awesome. That was it was like great because soaps are so fast and easy. Like I think my call time was like 8 a.m. and I was home at like 1:30. Like it's
Wow.
They're so efficient, right? They're well-oiled machines because they air every single day. So they do what's called block shooting, which actually we're seeing a lot more shows do this now, not just soaps, where they shoot by location. Sometimes block shooting will also be if you have like a bunch of stars on a show like Euphoria, where you have all these people who became so famous and they have movies that they're shooting and they're trying to work on their schedules. Sometimes block shooting will be like per character, where they'll like shoot a character out and then shoot the next character. But yeah, for soaps, they do it by location. So it's like all the scenes at the hospital, all the scenes at the cafe, all the scenes at the whatever for like the next week. That's where they shoot them all at once. And it was like their 12,000th episode or something, I think, when I was on it. So it was like a big party.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow, 12,000.
Yeah, so literally. Because again, they're airing every single day, and that's been on since like I don't even know, so many years, right? The 60s. I don't know when soaps started. It's been on.
Right.
They've been on a long time. So yeah, they're having a big party. So it was like a festive environment, and it was just cool. It was like such a quick, easy, like great first acting thing where it just felt like, I don't know, just felt like easy and quick and amazing, and yeah.
It was really interesting. Have you seen the movie Joy?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So the movie Joy, you know how her mom loves the soap operas.
Absolutely.
Right? And then and I guess I was watching the behind the scenes. What was the director's name? David O. Russell, I think.
Oh,
David
yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about the working with soap opera actors, and he got some really famous telenovela actors, and he goes, he said it was such a fun experience working with soap opera actors, because a lot of regular actors will be like, well, I don't know if my character would say this. What's my character's motivation? What am I going to do? Soap opera, they don't have the time. They're like, okay, so your sister came back from the dead. she's cheating on you, on your husband with your second husband's lover.
Yep.
And you're sad, you're confused, you're angry. Go action. And it's
Literally.
like they just do it. And
They
it's
do
like,
it, and they have so much more so, you know, on an average day of filming, again, it varies widely depending on the production and the thing, but like you're filming like, you know, like 5 to 8 pages a day or whatever. Soaps are filming so many pages a day. They have so much dialogue. So they and you get one take. Like they only do a second take. And that's why it's so fast. Like that's why I was gone at, you know, 1 o'clock. I had like 4 hours of filming because for like 4 scenes or whatever. Because unless this whatever, they don't call them series regulars, they call them contract players, unless the main cast like has some kind of crazy elaborate emotional scene and they need another take like really badly, you're getting one take of everything. So like you come in, you rehearse, you block it, you film it, boom, moving on, next thing. Like they are so efficient, and so that's why like a lot of times they get a bad rap for like the quality of the acting and stuff, but that's because it's such a different thing. It's like they're not, it's apples and oranges. You're not playing with the same set of circumstances. So these actors have so much more dialogue. They're only getting one take to do it. You know, it's crazy storylines that they have to keep track of. So yeah, it's
well. And then so what was prep like? Were you like, I only have one take to do this? This is a lot of pressure. Would you just rehearse the crap out of it? What was that? What was that?
I mean, you just do one quick little walkthrough with blocking with the director, and then you go. I'm a weirdo, so I grew up horseback riding. This is a very weird comparison, but it reminds me of Set a lot, the shows, because it's like hurry up and wait and hurry up and wait, and you have to be on in an instant. Like when it's your turn to go, you have to go and you have to deliver and execute like in a you know, right away. And so I've always performed really well under pressure. I actually like pressure because I feel like it makes me focus to a degree that I can't when there isn't that pressure. So I actually kind of like it. I know I might be weird in that way. So for me, it was great. It was like, oh, cool, excellent. Like I love it. Here now we're on, be on, go, do our thing, boom. You know. There's something really like satisfying about like having to do that. Like auditioning is the same way, right? It used to be in person, at least. Like what you you prep, you do your work, you have your minute to do your thing, and you have to execute, and that's it. So I think we kind of have that built into us as actors too, from that auditioning process. At least in the days before self tapes, you know, auditioning was very much the same. You have to do it, right? You have to like, this is your time, you better deliver. Here we go. So yeah. But definitely that can be intimidating, I think, for sure. Because you don't want to be the reason, like if you royally mess up on a soap, they're going to be like, what are you doing? Like,
right. Yeah, you got to be on.
Nurse 7, like, we don't have time for you. Like, no.
Right.
Like,
yeah. That's cool. So when you were working on these productions, did you already have kind of a producer director in mind? Are you thinking about, we were talking about blocking or stage blocking or what were you saying? Like filming certain locations, you're thinking logistically.
Block shooting. Yep. Yeah.
Block shooting. You're thinking logistically how they're filming, how they're efficient. And then because what I noticed about your film, Lexi, it was very efficient in terms of you had one main location, you know, and you had the ring cameras, you had the one main actress, right?
Yep.
And then you had the supporting actors, which I'm sure you could shoot out, you know, at for a couple days.
Correct.
And then having user submitted video, which
Correct.
I thought was really interesting.
Yeah. So it was a COVID film, right? So we shot this during lockdown. So that
Wow.
is why it is how it is, because we had a very limited sandbox to play in and very like crazy set of parameters. I mean, this was early COVID, no vaccine, no whatever. So that's why like the people are all separate, right? Like I was like, let's have experts because I can shoot them individually. They're people that I know and I've worked with and they trust me. So we'll be masked up and whatever. So it's just me and my DP and them. And you know, one at a time, and then the user submitted videos. Great. You guys can shoot it on your own and send it to me. So I don't have to be there. It was like coming up with ways to make this story work and like make the world open up with that crazy time we were in. So that's kind of why it is exactly like you're pointing out, very strategically limited in every way. But that was kind of a fun experiment because it's like, okay, so these are my parameters. This is my sandbox to play in. So like, what can I do? How can I make this interesting? And how can I be creative within this?
Totally. Here we go. Bringing up the poster here. So the poster is really cool. It looks really cool. So, okay. So did you write it as well? Did you have, so you wrote it, directed it, and starred it. Okay. So what was that like when you're directing yourself acting? Like how?
Very weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And normally, like I will say definitely, that is really challenging. Like I prefer to direct things where I have like a small role in it versus like being the main person, because it's a lot to like juggle. But because Lexi was so weird and we filmed it so weirdly in a weird time, like it was fine, because basically the reason why it came about is because we had another project that was like ready to go, and then COVID happened and the lockdown happened and nothing was happening. So we're like, all right, I don't sit still well. Like I said, I'm very go. So I was like, what can I do in this time? Like, I still want to be creative. I still want to like be able to act and be able to do something. So me and my writing partner just came up with this idea. Like, what can we do where like, here, I'm stuck in my house. What can we do using the fact that I'm here stuck in my house? Like, right. And how can we do this? So that was kind of why. So because of that, and also my husband's stuck at home, like working from home. So we had to film it very piecemeal. Like normally when you film a movie, it's like 17 days of filming or, 30 days of filming, in a row, basically with like breaks for weekends and stuff, but like in a row.
Yeah.
We filmed Lexi like chunks at a time for like months, because it was like fitting it into the schedule, right? And then I would basically shoot something and like send the dailies to my writing partner and have him look at it. We would talk about it. And there was a lot of stuff in the script that like didn't really work when we did it. And there was a lot of ideas I had during filming. I was like, let me try this. So it was very weird in a lot of ways. Like we found a lot of it during the filming process, if that makes sense. And it wasn't like, 17 days and we're wrapped, right? Like there was nobody to answer to. There was nobody. It was such a weird experience that way. So because of that, it was a lot easier to manage because it wasn't like I'm directing like 18 people and I'm on set with like all this chaos, it's literally like me. So it's just like me doing the weird thing and like looking at it and like, let me try this again and doing it again. You know what I mean? It was very like,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. So, okay. So would you recommend if an actor is not getting the roles that they want, what kind of step would you recommend them to do about making their own something?
Yeah. So I always say like the reason I started writing is because I was unsatisfied with like the quality of the roles I was auditioning for. I was said that like I'm sick of playing hot blonde, dumb blonde, and hot dumb blonde, right? So I was like, all right, if I want to play interesting, complicated women, I guess I have to write them myself, right? So I did that. So I found it to be such an amazingly empowering thing because actors are so much at the whim of other people. Even in this day and age too, unless you're like literally like Tom Cruise, even like huge stars don't have like final cut approval. They don't have say in the quality of the finished product, right? So you don't always know what you're getting. You don't always know what you're signing up for. A lot of times things change during the process. You get, like I mentioned on the Dexter thing, you could get cut out or edited or whatever. Like so many actors I know, they go and they film like a 5-episode arc and then that ends up changing and then now they're barely in the show. It just so many things happen that are completely out of our control that being able to do something yourself where you have that control is like so insanely empowering. So that's actually something I fell into. I started getting questions from people who wanted to start, creating their own projects like that. Actors who are like, hey, I want to do this. I see you've done this. Like, can you help me? So I do a lot of consulting in that. So I definitely recommend doing that. So the main thing I tell people to do to start is to like think about the kinds of roles you want to play, the characters that you are drawn to, that you wish you had the opportunity to play and write them, and it can just be a short, right? Because what we're using on our reel as an actor, you're never using more than like 20 to 30 seconds of any one project anyway. So that can be a great thing that come up with, that idea and then create it. And now you have, proof basically for casting directors like, hey, look, this is what I can play. I'm playing it right here. And that is like, again, I think it's so empowering. And it's also great because filmmaking is such a complicated collaborative thing and there's so many people and so many parts of it. And so the more you understand all the components and like all the steps and all the people who are working, the better it makes you at whatever it is you're doing. Like when I started writing, it made me a better actor. When I started directing, it made me a better writer. When I, understood the editing process, it made me a better director, right? It's like understanding how all these things come together and affect each other just makes you like a better collaborator and it makes you better at whatever it is you're doing. So I think that that's invaluable as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's really awesome. What I liked about what you have on your site is you have your different reels. You got like, and it's probably, it's probably the most obvious thing, at least for me as a director. It's so obvious for actors to have a certain reel. You put the reel together, So you have, let's show your website. So you have, I really like how you have it set up. Let's see here. You have your drama reel. It's a little bit big. You have a drama reel, you've got a fight reel, you've got firearms demo, horseback riding.
Yeah, my skills.
Horror reel. And then, I really like that because anyone that, like for me, before I even audition, I see if they have any videos. That's the first thing. And I check out, okay, can they act? first off, because then I could tell by their reel. Even if they're in the worst movie in the world, the quality looks terrible. That doesn't matter. I'm looking
Yeah,
at
how's their performance, right?
how's the performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And if they don't have anything, I don't even consider them. I won't even, you know what I mean? I won't waste my time. I'm serious, because there's too many people that are
It's so
actors.
competitive. Absolutely. Yeah. You're making more work for somebody, right? Now you have to like you're like, well, I don't know. Have you even done anything? Like I want to see it. I want proof. And that's another reason why, especially if an actor's starting out and they don't have anything, creating their own stuff, it's like, great. Now you have that proof of concept for somebody, right? You have like proof that you can act, you have proof that you've been on set, you have something to show people of your work, which is, it's such a visual business that like you have to have that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so you're this type A personality, USC 4.0, but you are in, people say, probably one of the toughest industries, right? How is that? How are you managing that? And in terms of, I'll leave it at that.
Depends on the day, right? Yeah. So I think it is a challenge, especially right now. Oh my God. I mean, first we had the pandemic, right? And then we had the double strikes. And then as a result of all these factors, we have an industry that's massively constricting and changing and trying to figure out what works, because we've like blown everything up the way it used to be, right? So it is a crazy time, both as an actor and a creator, filmmaker, anybody. It's a crazy time. And I don't know that we're I mean, that's the truth for so many industries right now. It's a crazy world, period. But I don't know if we're ever going to get back to normal or to how it was before. I'm not sure. It just seems like there's like one crazy thing after another. So I think, you have to be adaptable. And also I think you have to set up your life as much as possible in a way that allows you to continue to do this, which means you have to have other outlets and other things, both bringing you money and also bringing you satisfaction, if that makes sense, because you're not going to necessarily get those in a steady way from this business, especially now. I mean, I was talking to my friend, I think the two of us have both had like 3 theatrical, meaning like TV and film auditions this year. We're in March 11th, like 3.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. Now, is that in person or is that video submissions or?
Yeah. So TV and film, almost everybody now it's self-tapes.
Self-tapes. Yeah.
Or it's like what we call like a live Zoom. Like you're doing it live, but you're on Zoom. Gotcha. Like this, like and even those are like few and far between. Every once in a while you'll hear about somebody going in person for like a theatrical thing, but like so rarely. Commercials in LA, there are more of them in person now, getting back to that. But yeah, even still, it's probably maybe like a quarter of them, comparatively, but people do go in person for commercials. But yeah, film and TV is like never.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and how do you maintain sanity with that? If you're, and how often are you applying to gigs or looking at gigs?
Oh my God, constantly, right? Like all the time. And what's so hard about it is like, this was never a business where you got a lot of feedback in the first place, but there was something. And I do think that actors, we have a tendency to romanticize the room, like being in the room, auditioning in person. Is this glamorous, amazing thing. When like, let me be real with you. I had some of the like most insulting, like demoralizing experiences of my life auditioning in person. So it isn't always romantic. Like I had an audition where they literally were taking a phone call about the names that they were offering it to during my audition. Like while I am auditioning, they're like having like a whispered conversation, one of the producers like in the room about the person they've offered. Like what? So, I mean, and that's just an example. I can name like 35 other things, right? Like my web series is all about like the things that have happened to me as an actress, like toned down versions, if you can believe it. So yeah,
really,
if you want to laugh at some of the shenanigans, go watch Disgrace, because that is my real life. But yeah, so I do think we have a tendency to romanticize the process in the room. But I will say you do get some form of feedback, and casting is able to direct you and redirect you. And if you come in, like we as an actor, we get such limited information on a project, right? We get a couple lines of a character, we get maybe a line about what the thing is, and then the script. And we're trying to, figure out what the hell's going on and what is being asked of us and who this person is and how it all fits together. And we're not always right? Like we're making guesses because we don't have all the information. And so the beauty about being in person is like, oh, this person's great, but like they made choices that actually aren't quite right for this. Let me just adjust them. And then they can do that. And then now, boom, you're in the mix. Whereas with the self-tape, you don't get that opportunity, right? It just is what it is, and you never hear back. So that's like, we're removing like one level of kind of like feedback and opportunity that was there in the room. And I also felt like you did sometimes at least get a sense of like being able to build a relationship with an office, like a casting office, right? Like if you've been in person in front of the same casting director multiple times, like they start to know your name and they know whatever. Like in the self-tape era, like I don't know who knows me. I don't know. I have no idea who knows me. Like I haven't ever met half these people in person. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
So are they watching my tape? Like that's the thing too. You just don't know. Like at least if you go in person, you're like, all right, we're getting FaceTime. Like I get some feeling of how it went. They get the chance to redirect me, and like I'm building a relationship. And I know they saw my audition because I'm here with them watching me do it, right? Whereas with the self tape, it's like putting a message in a bottle and sticking it in the ocean. You're like, I don't know. Like, I hope it got there. I don't freaking know. And also, like, people admit, like, all the time, we watch the first 3 seconds. If you don't grab us in those first 3 seconds, like, we're skipping to the next one. So it's like, there is that feeling of, like, is this kind of, like, is there a point to this, right? Like, is this even resulting in anything? Because you just get no feedback other than the booking, unless you book it. So it does feel like it is harder, I think, as an actor in this climate to like, I don't know what the word is, to just feel like it's real, if that makes sense, kind of.
Right. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. What I like to do is I do a combination of things. First off, I check out their reel. I see if they're capable of acting. That's great. And then if I do request a self-tape, I'll look at that. But then we'll do a follow-up call because I want to get to know the person.
I do the exact same thing when I'm casting my projects. If we're not in person, I'm having we're having a conversation. It doesn't necessarily need to be an audition, but like I want to know who I'm going to be on set with and are they cool?
Yes. Are they cool? Yes. And I learned that the hard way where
haven't we all?
Yes, I know. Yeah. I casted someone and they were not cool on set. So you learn School of Hard Knocks. I mean, I would rather have a little bit less good actor that's really cool on set than having a really good actor who's a pain in the ass.
Ding, 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 ding. Cannot tell you how much I give that advice to people. Like as an actor, right? Like be nice, be helpful, be freaking cool, because that is same for me. I will cast the actor who is 80% as talented, but like a joy to have on set versus the person who's amazing and a pain in my ass. Like it is not, we have to spend long days under stressful situations. The environment of your set is so important. And can I cuss on this show? I'm so sorry.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
One asshole can like ruin it and throw such a crazy wrench in the vibe of that. And like, ain't nobody got time for that nonsense. So like, yes, that is such an important lesson. Be fucking cool. Like,
yeah, right. Yeah, you're right. Well, one bad apple can spoil the whole bunch. I mean, we had this actor that he, I won't name them, but yeah, he was starting to infect some of the other actors.
Yep.
And it was just not good. It was not good. So, and actually months later, he's apologized and he's like, oh, I was actually a jerk to you on set, which is fine. But during the time, you're making my life a lot harder than it needs to be. It's already hard enough if you're the writer, director, producer, and then they're like making your life more difficult than it needs to be. I don't think it is tough where a lot of filmmakers are demanding of actors, but a lot of actors don't realize how much work goes into
the other side of it.
Right? So yeah, I think what you were saying about how being a better writer or being a filmmaker helps you be a better actor, be a better writer, and everything is the more you do all of that, and then you learn, you learn a little bit more respect for because and especially for actors, it's like, okay, why don't you cry right now? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, action. And it's like, okay, that's hard. It's not easy to just pull up tears in 2 seconds. And directors are really demanding of the actors. And then other times, actors are like, well, where the hell's the food? The food's an hour late, and they didn't know all the freaking steps that the PA had to do to pick up the food and the things that went wrong and all those other things. And and your problem solving on set and everything
constantly, right?
Constantly.
Like, oh my god, the Kobo's the Wind, the like second feature, that production like tried to kill me, like with the amount of things that we had go wrong. So first of all, like our primary location burned down like 2 weeks before filming.
What? Oh no.
Yeah,
that's not an omen. Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
So we had to like hustle to find a new location, which thank God we did and I actually loved it. But like this property had like a bunch of stuff filming like 1-2 days here, blah, 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 like in the next like couple months. So we had the weirdest filming schedule because we were trying to work around her existing, gigs. So it was like 2 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 2 days off. It was just like whatever we could do to like fit it around. And that meant that we couldn't like leave our stuff there. We had to like pack up everything
man. Oh.
at the end of every like chunk. Which was such a pain in the butt. And then, okay, night one, we had a lightning strike and a minor fire. We had a cat. This woman who owned the property was also like a rescue person. I am too. I have a dog rescue and I love animals. Rock on.
Oh, cool.
But one of the cats got stuck in the grip truck, like locked in the grip truck overnight. And like, you can imagine the havoc that created. Then we had a flood on the last day of filming when we had all the stunts. Okay, anyway, we literally like had like
wow,
God,
what?
And, like, it was it just like almost broke me, but it didn't. It was fine. And even still, people were like, "This is like the most fun set I've ever been on." I was like going home and like having like panic attacks and like trying not to. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes,
so
stuff goes wrong. Stuff goes wrong.
Well, and then stuff like that, like a flood. Like, how do you plan for? Okay, guys, in case we have a flood, this is what we do, right? You can't plan. You really can't plan for that to happen. No. We had one of my sets. We had the owner. We filmed at an Airbnb cabin in the woods thing, and the owner comes up and he's like knocking on the door. He's like, "Hey guys, just so you know, don't worry about the fire. Just don't worry about it. And, it's on the other side of the freeway." We're like, well, I wasn't worried about the fire, but now I am. And so, yeah. And then the next morning I woke up at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. and it smells like a campfire.
Oh my God. Is there like ash raining down too? And it's like that.
Yes, there was ash. It was foggy, smoke, just smoke everywhere. It looked like fog, but
you were filming at my first location.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. And thank God it didn't get to us. It ended up being a really cool effect. We had some.
I bet it did. Like the sky and the whatever.
Yeah, the sky looked really cool. We had some Tim Burton fog going on without the fog machines that we had. So it was really cool. It was a blessing in disguise. But at the same time, at the city we're at, there's one way in, one way out. Like if the fire came up, we would have been screwed. Yeah, and then the next year the place almost burned down. And it came within a mile, and this burned acres and acres of property, and it became within a mile, and luckily they did not get burned down because that would have been horrible. But anyway, so it's like this act of God. There's actually some of these contracts where I laughed when I read one of them. It's like there's the force majeure. What is it? The force majeure contract, which is like technically an act of God. So it's like a hurricane, a fire, a storm. And I'm like, why do we need this? I was like, well, stuff like this does happen. It really does.
Especially filming in California. We have lots of fires. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, totally. So, okay. So I want to talk about, are you in LA? Are you LA based?
Yeah.
Okay. So how has it been going through COVID? Were you in LA throughout the whole COVID?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Wow. And you survived. You're there.
Survived. Yes,
you're here.
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still here. Still kicking.
Okay, so tell me about it. So you did the Disgrace web series. You've got the movie Lexi, and then you've got the Cold. Was it Cold as the Wind Blows? Okay. What are you working on right now?
So I have a couple of things in the mix. It's like, again, like I was mentioning, it's a very weird time. So I'm kind of trying to like take a beat and just see like how things are shaking out and how it's going to evolve or whatever, because like we released Lexi and Cold was like a year apart, and just the difference in the landscape as far as payment goes for filmmakers, I cannot tell you how crazy that is, because now, Netflix and all the major streaming services have ads available, right? They have an ad tier. So you probably know this as a filmmaker, but so what that did was that made ads less valuable on like your Tubis and your AVOD services. So they're a lot cheaper, which means what we get paid as a filmmaker is significantly less than what we used to get paid. So the math is like crazy. The math is like you need, for every 1 million views, you get like $5,000.
Yeah,
which
sounds about right.
Is pretty depressing, right?
Yeah. Very, very depressing.
Yeah, kind of demoralizing. So I'm just like trying in the moment to kind of figure out how to make this work. Like from, you know what I'm saying? Like, what does this look like? Like how can we, in this environment that we're in, like how can we think outside the box, and how can we make this happen before like the next thing, because it's so different than it was like already, again, like year to year. It just like the change is crazy. So you see a lot of filmmakers like going back to doing like theatrical runs and like four-walling it and doing like a tour kind of with their movie. I've seen all kinds of things happening, and it's just interesting to see like what is working for people, what isn't, and you know, what things you can possibly explore for the next project or whatever. But if you're gonna make like an indie film, like truly indie, you know, even for like, yeah, for any kind of budget, it's like it's gonna take you a very long time to make it back off of the way we used to make it back. So yeah, so we will see. That was a very sad, depressing answer. But basically, like I have scripts and I have projects and I have ideas, but I'm kind of just trying to figure out what makes sense. Like tactically, like
right, and literally dollars and cents.
Yes,
right?
dollars and cents. Yes, correct. So yeah, it's like it's very interesting, and like I don't know, I've had a lot of discussions with people who see you're like, oh, this person is killing it, like they have a plan and whatever. And then like I'll have like a meeting producer to producer with them, and you find out what they're doing is just like they're not. I don't know. A lot of people like either aren't making money or they're just making stuff like as cheaply as possible with like calling in favors with people constantly, like just operating in a way that no shade thrown. Like,
yeah, right. But that gets old after a while. Like, you know, that gets old. If you're trying to,
it's not how I want to operate. Like, no shade. I get it. I like understand, but it's just not how I personally want to operate. And so it's like I've yet to find kind of an example of somebody doing things successfully in a way that I want to do them. You know, I don't want to be having 20-hour days, paying people like shit money. Like, I also like I am a union actress, so like I have to have union projects. So like I have a layer level of things that are required of me, and like I don't know. It's just yeah, it's crazy times. So there are like some things I'm probably gonna do next, just like some shorts and stuff for fun, just to like create and get it out there and do something. But as far as like the next feature, I'm just kind of trying to like take a beat and see how things settle and see like if an avenue presents itself that seems like it makes sense, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay. So with Lexi, did you find a distributor? Did you self-distribute?
Yeah. So we had offers from distributors. Actually, we took it out and had a lot of offers from people. But because it was such a weird movie and we made it for like 12 cents, like in COVID, like we made it for the cost of like I paid my actors and like I bought a mannequin head, so that was like the cost of Lexi. So we had such a unique experience, like a unique set of circumstances on our hands, and I was like, hey, this is like we have no investor, we have nothing to lose. Let's like self-distribute this so we can have the numbers, like see how this process works and take that with us. So like we're armed with that information for like the next project. Right. So that's what we did. So we ended up self-distributing through FilmHub, an aggregator.
Oh, great. Okay.
So we could like have that experience and get those numbers and kind of figure out that process and like be educated in that way. And then that's changed a lot too, which is interesting.
Yes. Well, yeah, we could talk about FilmHub for a bit because that's where my movies are. Yeah. That's how I've distributed my movies.
Yeah.
Via FilmHub, and it has changed a bit. And then they want you to pay to watch to see your own analytics. And I'm always like, well, if I'm already making them enough money to operate, I want to still see my analytics, you know?
Right. Like, isn't that what your 20% is for? Like,
right.
Like basically now they want you to be like a paid subscriber to even like, and I'm not a high maintenance person. Like I only have 2 titles up there and like, I'm like so low maintenance, but it's like, if something should arise, I feel like I shouldn't have to pay like however much a year to like get an email back to my question. That feels a little, you know what I mean? Like, I think, I don't know, if I was going to do the self-distribution route again, I personally would do Bitmax because at least it's up front and then you get a bigger chunk of the payment of the money because they don't take anything off of AVOD. So,
oh, interesting. I haven't heard about Bitmax.
Oh yeah. So Bitmax is very similar. It's just that they have upfront fees, whereas FilmHub doesn't. So,
I see.
So it's like, I don't remember I don't know what it is now because I haven't looked at it in a second, but it's like, you know, say it's like $2,000 a title and like you pay that to get it on all the major things. But then you get like 80% of your TVOD and 100% of your AVOD.
Oh wow,
so
that's great.
Yeah, and so like I think I would do that. Like I just pay the money up front and do it, you know. That way, yeah. So yes, but you see, even with FilmHub, right? It's like FilmHub it's only been in existence for like so many years, and it's changed every year, right? It's like a little bit, I don't know. It feels like it feels like it's going not in the favor of filmmakers, like more and more and more every year that it's around. Which I understand. I'm sure they have a ton of stuff not making money, and I whatever. I get it. I understand it's a business, but it's just, yeah, this is what happens. It's like something comes up and it's like filmmaker friendly and like everyone's making money off of it and it's great and whatever. And then, you know, and then we're all kind of trying to find the next thing. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, Amazon Prime, when Amazon Prime was out, it was like, we were making like 15 cents a stream, which is great. You know what I mean?
Amazing comparatively.
This is amazing. Yeah, which is amazing. And then all of a sudden it turned into like 0.002 or 0.003 based on the CER, which is customer engagement rate, which is
Yes.
it's the most confusing.
Which like you can never get an
It
answer
makes
on what that
you
really
can never
is.
get it. Yeah. It's based on watch time plus click through plus if
Yes.
they buy something on Amazon afterwards, which makes no sense. And yeah, so it just that really changed. So it was like Amazon used to be the gravy train for
Yeah, and
filmmakers.
now people can barely get their stuff on there, like period,
Yeah,
to make their own
right. Which
oh,
I knew that would happen because the problem is when you have zero checks and balances for any movies, the bar becomes so low, and then people are like, oh, what? Amazon Prime has a lot of crappy movies on here.
Correct.
Right,
And then they also start making, like, at the time when this was the case for filmmakers, like Amazon studios didn't create their own content. So now you have them wanting to make their own brand and to separate the quality of their brand from this like crap that they have on their website available, right? So this happens like Tubi gets bought by Fox. Tubi wants to go away from the indie stuff and push more of the mainstream old movies that it has on there. It happens again and again and again and again.
Yeah, totally. I know, and that's the thing. Like when Tubi was doing really well, I was like, oh wow, Tubi's awesome, and then that's starting to change as well. And
Correct.
I mean, Tubi is still, to me, it's the best one still.
It's our big. I think it's most people's biggest earner. I mean, for AVOD, right? Like you can still make money TVOD, like on TVOD through Amazon, but and iTunes and the stuff or whatever. But yeah, for like AVOD services, like at least for me, Tubi is by far the biggest earner.
Yeah. Well, when you think about AVOD and TVOD, do you think, which by the way, guys, TVOD is transactional video on demand. That's when you buy or rent a movie. And AVOD is advertising video on demand.
Yeah. So it's free for you. You just got to watch the ads, right? Whereas the TVOD, you have to pay for it. Yeah.
Right. So for you as a filmmaker, because some filmmakers are like, oh, I don't want ads on my movie. I just want my movie to be seen and be the purist, right? Are you like that, or are you like, no, we need to see ads? Like, I need to get paid.
Look at here, in order to like keep making movies, we got to get paid, right? So yes, in a perfect world, would I love like to not have to do that? Yes, sure. I think ads are annoying as a viewer, but also like one thing that's great about these places, at least how they started, like Tubi, if somebody's like a fan of a niche thing, they can find their thing on Tubi, and like there's so much more available that where it wouldn't be available elsewhere. So like I think that is worth watching the ads, right? If you're like a huge found footage fan and you're like, oh my god, look at this crazy collection of found footage films available on Tubi that I can't find anywhere else, like you're gonna sit through ads for it, right? Totally. So yeah, I'm not like a purist. I don't think it ruins the experience, right? Like.
Right. So okay. So for you, like, you want to do more found footage? Because found footage is a great way to make a movie pretty cheaply, effectively, and people are going to watch it. There's an audience.
Yes,
right.
There really is. Which I really didn't like. I mean, I've always been a horror fan, and I like horror in general, and I like found footage, but I didn't quite realize like how rabid the audience for found footage was, and how like. Yeah. Really?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. We didn't make it. Like we literally made Lexi on a whim because we had because of COVID, and it was like we were so contained, it lent itself to that format and that genre. And I love like true crime and I love mockumentaries, and so that was like a way to incorporate that into it. But yeah, I didn't really realize like how like rabid the found footage fan base was, and they're amazing. Like Lexi is like this tiny little movie that we made during COVID, and like the emails and stuff I get like on the regular and like the shout outs and the stuff from people, it's like amazing. It's so cool. It's like not everybody's cup of tea, and that's totally fine. But like I even love the discussions, and I love it. It's cool to like see discussions about it on the Reddit thread, and people hate what they hate and what they like and whatever. It's like a cool thing to be a part of. So
okay, yeah, no, so okay, I want to ask you this, and I'm really sorry, but I can only relate to you so much from this. So on IMDb, okay, I'm really sorry. We're on IMDb.
Sure.
Your movie has 1.3 thousand ratings.
Yeah.
And it's at a 4.3 out of 10.
Sure.
My movie, I think, is a 3.9 out of 10.
Sure.
So, have you noticed that affect your but again, so okay, this is actually really interesting. So I'm going to pull this up. Yeah. So IMDb rates it 4.3 out of 10, but you've got 280 10 stars, 314 9 stars, 313
very polarizing, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the thing is, there's way more positives.
High scores than low. I don't understand it either. Yeah. Make it make sense. I don't know.
Right. Totally. Like, look at this. Here. Yeah, let's do this. So look at this. It's obviously way higher rated. And
that's so weird.
Right? Yeah. But okay. Oh, unweighted means 7.7. Unweighted. But then they do their own weighting. which
Oh,
they
that's
don't.
weird. I never noticed that before.
Yeah,
So who's weighting it based on what?
So they go, IMDb rating is weighted to help keep it reliable. Learn more. Okay, let's learn more.
What does
IMDb.
that mean?
Let's see what happened. So okay, IMDb publishes weighted vote averages rather than raw data averages. The simplest way to explain it is that although we accept and consider all votes received by users, not all votes have the same impact or weight on the final rating. When unusual voting activity is detected, an alternate weighting calculation may be applied in order to preserve the reliability of our system.
So they're like so they're basically like accusing. They're saying that it's like fake if the ratings are high.
Yeah, I think that's what they're saying. Yeah, so I mean, look, I get it. Like, I know filmmakers that are like, okay, you know, I get 100 of my friends and family. I'll give it 10. I'll give it 10 stars. And I always say, like, if you're gonna rate my movie, don't give it 10.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not a 10. Nothing's a 10. What's a 10?
Right. Yeah. What's a 10? Yeah, exactly. Other than all of my movies, but you know,
right. Other than your perfect work
yeah. Other than everything that I've ever done. No.
That you've ever touched.
Yeah. Exactly. But again, I see this all the time with big budget movies where I swear there's no way in hell they'll have like a 7.7, and I'm like, there's no way in hell this has a 7.7. And because I think that a lot of these film companies do inflate over.
For sure. Well, and if you notice too, okay, so a couple things with this. The average viewer doesn't understand the difference between an indie film and a studio film. And they don't understand the difference between a low budget film and a studio film. And so you have people like, who greenlit this thing? And you're like, me, it was I greenlit me in my house during COVID. I made it for 12 cents. Like, yeah. Right. You know, it's not going to be a black phone, right? Like we're not playing with the same deck of cards here. Like it's not the same thing. So you have that, which like always skews indie stuff negative. Also genre always does horribly on IMDb, like action and horror. And people are like, I hate horror movies. And they give it like a 1. And you're like, right. Well, then why are you watching it? Why are you rating it? Like, what? I don't understand. You see, so like that. So if you notice, even really good horror movies always skew low. Like you can pull up any like with very few exceptions, right? Like Sinners, I'm sure has a very high IMDb score, but like a lot of the movies that even like do amazingly in the box office and are like very well liked horror movies still have a really low rating, like a 5 on IMDb. Which sucks for us filmmakers because people are like, oh, you know, well, it's only, you know, I think, my movie Simp, I think is 3.9 last I checked. Right. But it is kind of, you know, it's a little. I'm gonna look at it. Just this is why they tell you, right? Like not to do this as a. I know, right? Like for filmmakers, don't read your own reviews. Don't read your reviews. Oh, because I mean, I will say, like I generally try to avoid that. But like Lexi 3.9. But even you have a lot of 8s and 9s, and totally. I mean, look at this. Yeah, user reviews. I love the 1 and the 2. It literally says like the worst movie ever, and then like this is so much fun. Isn't it? Like sometimes, okay, I will say because Lexi was such a weird thing, and like because it was made so strangely, like I don't feel as like what's the word I'm looking for, precious about it, or as like sensitive about it because. So I think it's really funny. I think it's really funny to read the bad reviews because also like a lot of times their bad review just proves that they like completely missed like the point of my movie, which is great. Like I'm glad you didn't get it and it's not for you, and that's great, right? Like I can't possibly be for everybody. There's no such thing as being for everybody. So I love that it's like 1s and 9s, like rock on. Either you're with it or you're not, right? Right. And that is something where I would prefer a visceral reaction from the audience, good or bad. They love it or hate it. The worst thing I could ever hear is like, meh. Oh yeah, I saw your film. It was all right. Yeah, meh. Meh is the absolute worst. I would rather someone say, I'd rather jump off a cliff than watch your movie than say, oh man, it was okay. I'm with you 1,000,000% because at least you got a reaction. And again, like you know this as a creator, if you go with the intention of trying to please everybody, like it cannot be done. And so like that's a losing battle. You inherently are going to make something that people like and people don't like, and that's fine. It's for some people, it's not for everybody. Like if you are unique and like true to your own point of view, that's all you can do, right? It can't possibly please everybody. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you're able to kind of look outside. With my first project, Rideshare, I worked so hard on it. By the time we finished it, I'm like, it doesn't matter what people think of it. I mean, you know, it was just kind of a relief to get it out there and be done. To get it out there, yeah, and then also just to say like, well, whatever, people can love it, they can hate it. I mean, I left it out on the line, and I did my best
I did my best I could, right? People could, because I think Stanley Kubrick says it takes, it could take 2 years to make a movie, and then it takes 2 minutes to write a review.
Correct.
You
There's
know.
this is the thing me and my husband always say. I can't remember. There was like a picture of Vin Diesel on a yacht, shirtless, and he was like heavy, and everyone's like, "Oh, he let himself go, and he's heavy." And we always say, "And here I am, like yachtless with a shirt." Right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, totally. Right.
like, so that's what it is. It's like these people haven't made a movie, so they can say whatever they want, but like you have a movie out in the world and they don't, right? And
Yeah.
like that is what it is. And yeah, so it's funny. Yeah, I will say, like, yeah, I think you just have that is a hard thing as a creative, right? To not be sensitive about your work. Like, of course we're sensitive about our work, but like if you cannot be, sometimes it's really funny. Sometimes the bad reviews are really funny. Like, just they just,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. It's hilarious. Yeah. I mean, this one looks like a school project gone wrong. This is about my movie, by the way. Was this film made by a 12-year-old? I honestly don't even know where to begin. The best feels like a sloppy university project. It's, other absolute worst movie ever watched. So many red flags about the movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's also, if you look at these people too, sometimes if you look at them, all they do is review things negatively. Like some of these people, like they just like sit at home and they're like angrily reviewing movies on their, and that's so funny. It's like, dang, like, hey, rock on. But again, grain of salt, right? It is what it is.
Oh, totally. Yeah. So I did a movie review on Nosferatu, the new Nosferatu, and I personally didn't like it. I thought it was unintentionally funny.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
said that, and people got offended. Like, this YouTube short kind of blew up, had 10 or 20,000 views or something like that. But then all of a sudden, I started to get review bombed. So if you look at this guy,
seriously,
yeah. So if you look at the person that rated Simp 1 star, now all of a sudden, oh look, he rated Rideshare with 1 star.
Oh,
he also rated my bachelor party movies that I was hired to direct 1 star.
Yep.
The other bachelor party movies 1 star.
Yep.
Everything I've done he gives, and then you read his review for Simp. His review goes, one of the worst things I've ever seen ever, and I've seen a soldier get beheaded. Like, oh my gosh, like this is
an actual piece of art, like Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he goes through that. Yeah. If you want to watch an actual piece of art, watch Robert Eggers.
That's
Nosferatu.
wild. They have like people writing on you for, that's hilarious.
These
the wrong filmmakers.
I know, right? Yeah, totally. And it's like, dude, I didn't like a movie, so freaking hang me.
Oh my god, which is so funny, because what are they doing except for like that exact thing? like so it's okay for them to do it, but people are so crazy. It's a wild world. Like the internet, emboldens people to say crazy things.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. And from your experience, how have you dealt with it? Because you've been, maybe when you were starting out, you probably took it more to heart, but now you kind of laugh it out.
So I've always been like, it's funny. People would always describe me as someone who like doesn't care what people think about them. So I think that I have that going for me. But even me, I mean, some days, like I've had some days where you're like, wow, things really hit. But I think as an actor, I'm so used to getting rejected and like insulted and you name it, like 18 times a day, that it just doesn't even, I don't know. It's like a Tuesday, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, whatever. So like, I think I have that. Like I notice when I take like classes with writers and stuff, like writers who haven't done this very long are like so sensitive. And the people who are actors coming to writing are like, what? Okay, whatever, right? Because we're just so used to getting notes on ourselves. Like the amount of insults I've had to like hurled at myself, like my own person, like it's crazy. So it's like somebody didn't like my movie, like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's, I also used to model. So like, yeah, you just like, opinions are coming at me all the time about everything. So I just have to be able to shake it off. Again, I'm human. I'm not always like, I don't always succeed at that. Sometimes things do make me, feel bad for a minute or hurt my feelings or whatever. But like, I just try to shake it off. And like, literally it happens. Like I get rejected and I get like, I always say like, I come up with new and exciting ways to get rejected. Right. I'm like, now I get rejected as an actress, and then I get rejected as a writer, and then I get rejected as a director. It's like, I'm just getting rejection served to me all day long. So it's like, whatever, you think my nose is too big, you don't like my this, like whatever, I don't care. Like,
right. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So what type of advice would you give an actor? If an actor's just starting out, actor or actress?
Yeah.
what type of advice would you give them?
About that, about having thick skin, or just
Yeah, about having thick
mhm.
skin, or dealing with the industry,
I
dealing
think
with rejection.
I think nobody knows anything, and it is all just opinions. Even the people who you think are like these purveyors of art and like culture and who like have it all together and know everything, they also don't know anything. Like the amount of stories of people who passed on things that were huge hits, or people who, you know, whatever, wanted to turn this down or the person down or the project down or whatever, that like no one knows anything.
Hmm.
So if you believe in yourself and you are doing the best you can to continue to grow and improve, like that's all you can control. You cannot control what people think of you, right? And like I think you just have to have that within yourself so that you're more resistant to like the opinions and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just,
Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
like truly no one knows anything. Like even the higher ups and the things like you see, the more you go, the more you're just like, wow, like people are wild and no one knows what the fuck they're doing, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
totally. Well, yeah. The big bunch of movies that start filming without a script. It's just like, oh, we
all
have
the
a deadline
time.
for a movie. Yeah, yeah, and it's like crazy
I mean,
thinking
and even
about.
just like I used to do stand-in work like early on, and I stood in for some like big people, and like just sometimes the way that they would show up to set and like not be prepared at all and just do terrible work, and like nobody, yeah, everyone, we're all just people, okay? And like it's just people's opinions,
Yeah.
and eventually like you just have to get the right person to have the right opinion about you at some point. And like, you know, even, yeah, no one knows what, no, it's just opinions. It's everyone, they don't know what they're doing, and it's just their opinion.
Yes. Okay. So how about that? I'm really curious to know what has been an experience on set with a big star that maybe you can say something really positive or something really negative.
Sure.
I don't know. Give us an example. Give us a fun story from your
A
experiences.
fun story. Let's see. Hold on,
It could
scanning.
be fun. It could be not fun. I don't.
Yeah, no, like here, as a generic statement, I will say that this industry is very top down. So I find that if the coolest, the biggest person involved in the project on the set is cool, everybody top to bottom is cool. If the
Mm.
biggest person is an asshole, everybody top to bottom is an asshole.
Wow.
So again, that is one of the things I love about like producing, is being able to set the tone for my own project and make sure that I'm treating actors and everybody, all my cast and crew, the way I wish I was treated on set, like all the time, right? That is such like an amazing, powerful gift. So some of the people who are like really amazing, like I haven't been on NCS, but everyone I know who's like been on NCS, Mark Harmon used to be like one of the nicest guys ever. Michael C. Hall was very nice on Dexter. Again, the director I worked with on Dexter was like Keith Gordon was like the nicest dude
Oh.
ever. Like came and had lunch with me, like me, my like 3-day co-star person, like he came and sat with me and like was
Wow.
so nice and welcoming, and he was amazing. I have had bad experiences. I'd say the most common thing is that like they literally never learn your name, and they're just like, you know, waitress number 2 all day long or whatever, which is super exciting, and really makes you feel like,
Yeah, when you really feel special about that. Yeah.
yeah, you
Waitress.
feel super super welcome there. There was the guy on the show who like I was there being introduced to the cast or whatever, and he was like, they got to him and they're like, "Oh, gonna like introduce yourself," and he's like, "She knows who I am." It's like,
Oh. Uh,
okay, cool, nice to meet you too.
did you know who she was?
No,
Who
not
they were?
really. Like,
Wow.
you
Yeah.
know, not particularly. Like, whatever, random series brag on a random ass show. Like, not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you just have a lot of that. Like, you have a lot of the ego. You have a lot of yeah. There's. I'm just trying to think of that. Like, you have people like the star will come in and like want the whole scene reblocked because it's like their bad side, and they want to be on, like, truly, like they want to be on the other side. Or like one time I had like a scene, like a love scene, and they were like complaining because like my hair was like falling in like the like in our faces,
Oh.
like as for like
Oh.
kissing or whatever, and it
Mhm.
was like someone needs to do something about her hair. It was like a big fucking deal, my hair. um Oh, I've had so many things. Literally, yes, go watch Disgrace and you will see all like the things. But this is my favorite job. Okay, can I tell you this is my favorite story.
Yes,
This
please.
is a wild story. So I told you I used to do stand-in work and also body double work, right? So when the great thing about body doubling is you get paid what the person you're body doubling gets paid. for the day of work.
Really? Whoa, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
It's a very awkward thing because you have to like they have to like select you. So you're like, hi, here's my body. Would you like me to be your body? Like on this scene. And it's not always nude. It can be like lingerie, swimsuit. It can be whatever they don't want to be in, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. So I had been like, this was actually, yes. Okay. So I had just filmed Dexter. And this was my next thing. So I was like on a high from like being on my first time being on a show that I liked and like having this Dexter experience. And I was like so excited. And then the people who I did this like stand-in body double work called me and there was somebody who wanted me because of I have a very like weird bust bra size, like a kind of like less common. I'm like a 32 double D, which is somewhat uncommon. So they like found me on this thing and they booked me just because of my measurements, right? Because supposedly I matched up with the lead of this thing and they wanted me to double her. So great. Okay, cool. So like literally the day after Dexter, I'm like there. And I'm like, so I show up on set and the way like I show up on set is like literally in a hoodie and like sweats and I'm just like chilling, waiting, whatever. So I like go and I check in and I'm like sitting there waiting. And then the person like looks at me and they like look me up and down, like the PA, whoever like was checking me in. And they're like, hold on. And then they just run off. And I'm like, okay, weird. So, all right. So I'm like still sitting there like waiting to be like checked in and like done, whatever. And he comes back with like another person. And then the other person like looks me up and down and they're like, can you take your hoodie off? And I'm like, okay. So I take my hoodie off and I'm just like in a tank top underneath it. And then they just like look me up and down and they're like whispering to each other and then they run off again. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, what the hell? And then they bring back a third person and repeat the whole fucking process again, right? And then they have me go in to meet like the actress that I'm going to be doubling so she can look at me. Okay, so then it makes sense. So I go in there and this chick is like 40 pounds heavier than me.
Oh, wow.
Like clearly the measurements she gave them to double her were not accurate. I'm not showing shade.
No,
Like,
yeah.
It's just
not
like,
accurate.
I clearly
doesn't line up.
We were not a match, right?
Yeah.
But like rather than tell me this, they like do all this thing. And so then she's like looks at me again and then she's like talking to the whatever and they like send me out of her trailer and then I'm just like sitting around waiting again. And then I'm checking, there's this website that we use like Breakdown Express. It's where the castings are posted. Like it's where your agent gets the good stuff, but like the stuff that's released to like the public, it's indie films and shit you can find, right? So I'm like scrolling the casting website like looking for projects and I see the thing I'm there for come up as like a rush casting. With like way different measurements, obviously, because whatever. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And then they tried to like, this was a union project again. And again, like I said, they have to pay me what they have to pay me, right?
Right. They
were trying to send me home for their own fuck up. And then they were trying to have me stand in and not double her and pay me the stand-in rate, not the double rate. And I was like, no, fam, like whatever. So I called like SAG and I was like, so this is what's happening, whatever. So they had to pay me. I did stand in, but they had to pay me the other rate for the project or whatever. But yeah, anyway. So like just the way it's handled and like I could not have felt more like a piece of meat like the whole time. I understand that I'm like a body that is going to be doubling, but can you like speak to me like a human? Like I'm still a human attached to a body. Like,
right. They could have said, hey, there was an error in the doubling process. For whatever reason, the management and the weight, it doesn't match up. Right, like we're having to sort this out. Just be transparent with you. Like, hey, look, oh gosh, we thought that she was this, and she's actually this. Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Wow.
So that was like fun, and that was just such like a harsh reality check coming off of like the high of Dexter back to like the reality of like this. You know what I mean? It was just funny. I was like, and back to that glamorous life. So yeah, there's just it all kind of the bad experiences all boil down to just like people not treating you with like a basic sense of respect and kindness, like the sets that are greater when like the whole cast is like, hey, we're welcome. We're so glad to have you here. Even if you're like, on it for a day, with 3 lines or whatever, it's like, they make you feel welcome and like a part of the thing,
Yeah.
And that makes all the difference. And when they don't do that and they're just like, you're nobody. I won't bother to learn your name. Like I won't bother to look at you, blah, like then you feel that. And that's such a shitty way to feel. So yeah, just
yeah, totally. I mean, it's hard enough already to even get to wherever you are to get to there on set and just at least make it a pleasant experience for everyone that's there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I always wonder that, like, I know that we talked about it can be so stressful, the filmmaking process. And I get that, like, things go wrong and we're problem solving and there's stakes. And I totally understand that. But also, like, what an amazing gift to be able to do this. And aren't we doing it because we love it? So like
Mhm.
whenever I'm producing a project, involved in it in any way, like I try to lead with that love, because like that is what got us into this. So let's remember that and like have fun and be joyous, because otherwise what are we doing? You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like
Totally. Yeah.
truly.
Exactly. Yeah. We're not shoveling coal. We're
Correct.
not, yeah, we're not putting our lives on the line. This isn't brain surgery.
Yes. Like
You're right.
it's
It's
filmmaking. We love it. It's
for
creating.
filmmaking. Yeah.
Yes.
It's creating art. It's having fun.
Yes.
You're pretending for a living, creating your own world. Yeah. Yeah.
Like be nice, right? Like I just have like one rule in life. It's like don't be a dick. And that like just applies to everything. Just like don't be a dick. Just be nice. Just
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this. So
Yeah.
because you seem to be very nice, but have you had experiences on your sets when you're producing where someone is not being nice and you've had to fire them? Have you ever had that happen
I have
to you?
not I have not I have not fired somebody. I have almost fired somebody. Yes, I definitely have had experiences with people not being nice. At a certain point, it becomes a decision of like how far along are you in the process, and like what makes sense to stick it out or deal with it or whatever. But yeah. Also, I will say like it is a thing, right? I'm a woman in filmmaking, and we
Mhm.
are few and far between. So there is a certain amount of respect like inherently given. It's funny because like I have like a writing partner that I used to work with a lot, and like sometimes he would direct, sometimes I would direct, and the difference is funny. Like the kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, just the respect and like authority given to him inherently as a man versus me as a woman. Like you do feel that that is somewhat different. Most crews are predominantly male,
Yeah.
and there is some level of that. So there is a little bit of like, hey guys, I am in charge. Like, please listen to me. I don't want to, I am nice. This is fun. I want this to be awesome, but also like, please listen to me. So sometimes that can be hard to navigate. Like, again, I try to be really, really conscious of who I bring onto my projects and do my best to avoid that. The situation where I almost had to fire somebody was unfortunate because it was somebody I had worked with before and had an amazing experience with. And I guess just, I don't know, life things or like where they thought they were in their career, they suddenly had a big ass ego, and were just being like incredibly rude to everybody on the set, and also not doing their work. Like their performance as an actor was not fucking up to snuff. And thankfully we had like an amazing editor to make that film work. But yeah, just I like had money been no object, and had I not had investors to answer to, and had I not had a thing, like if I had my druthers, like I would have fired that person. But instead I just tried
Mm.
to have like a come to Jesus moment and make it work. And yeah, it was unfortunate because like I'm not really sure what to do with that life lesson, if I'm being honest, because it's like I always try to be really conscious of who I bring onto my projects. And I love working with people again and again who are awesome, because you're like, I know what I'm getting. I know what you're bringing. But this person was the same person I had such an amazing experience with, only to have a terrible one. And so it was like, wait, what? Like, how am I supposed to like prevent that from happening, But I will say that there was a moment in the process leading up to shooting where I was having a doubt, and I had like a little feeling in my, like, oh, I don't know, something feels off. And I should have listened to that. So like, yes, I trust your gut. When in doubt, like handle that shit as quickly as possible, so that you don't have to deal with it. Because the problem too is like when you've made something with somebody, like you have to
You're
deal
kind of
with.
married to them. You're kind of
Correct.
married to them. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
It's like shared custody of kids, like in a divorce, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
have that person forever in your life that you have to deal with on some level.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. So yeah.
So okay, so when you have talent now, it's so interesting. Some of my sets I have people that aren't the biggest in the biggest role, but they're so stoked to be part of the project. They're posting about it every day or every other day, which I think is awesome. And there's people that are lead characters in the role that never
Can't be
post
bothered.
anything. Yeah, can't be bothered to post anything about it. Like, do you have something where you say, "Hey guys," do you ask them straight up, "Hey, can you guys post about this? Can you shout it out?" Or are you just kind of assuming that they're going to do that? Or
So you actually can have that in a clause, like FYI, like
Mhm.
the big when you work on large scale projects, the promotion is part of your contract.
Uh-huh.
And it's spelled out very clearly what's expected of people. So like even as indie filmmakers, we can do that. Like we can put that into a clause. I mean, but then also it's like, what do you like? Are they still going
Right.
to do it? Like, are you going to sue them if they don't do it? Like, how far are you going to take it? Whatever, right? So that is something I am aware of, and it's totally true. Like, yeah, a lot of times you know, people can have a big ego and think they're better than something even when that's not the case. And so yeah, a lot of times you will find like a lot of excitement coming from the people who are like a little greener or like more appreciative of the opportunity. So I definitely think that's a
Mhm.
thing. So I do have that factored into like my contracts and stuff like going forward because I think that is important, especially for indie movies, right? It's like word of mouth is huge, and if you have like we were so fortunate to work with Jamie Bernadette, who's like big in horror on Cold Blows the Wind, and she was amazing by the way. Like shout out to Jamie, she's awesome person to have on your set. She's like such a joyous person. She's also a producer, so she's like great to have, and she's so good about doing that. Like she'll happily promote the film she's in, and she's like so awesome about it. But that's not always the case, right? So sometimes you do have to like kind of pester them and bother them, and sometimes they still don't really do it. It's like, you know, then it's up to you to decide like how far am I going to take this or whatever. But I think that is back to what we were talking about actors, right? Like how you'll take the actor who is slightly less talented perhaps or slightly less perfect for the role even, you know, but nicer. You'll
Mhm.
take that person
Yes.
over the other person. I think that kind of we have to factor that stuff in as well too. Like I think that it goes kind of hand in hand. Generally speaking, the nicer people are more willing to follow through with the promotion and are going to be more excited to be part of the project and whatever. But like, I think that kind of excitement factor for a project perhaps is something we also as producers should perhaps be factoring in to our casting, decisions.
Yeah.
Um, especially in this, you know, the market is so saturated and we're like trying to find a foothold in an audience and stuff, right? And those things can be huge. Like somebody with a big following that like especially if they're in the genre that you're making or whatever can actually like help move the needle on your film. And so I think that it is a factor, you know. I would never like I would never cast somebody just for their following or whatever. Don't get me wrong. Like
Yes.
that's not my vibe. I hate it. I think it's gross. But I do think like when you're looking at an actor, like the excitement and their willingness to like promote the film and be part of that process is something to consider along with everything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was coming up to my next question is how much does their following take into account on
Yeah,
when
so when I'm
casting?
when I'm casting, it's not so much that, but okay, like it also depends on what level you're doing things and whatever. Like, so if you are like, I know a lot of producers who are making, you know, B-level action and horror movies, and they work with certain distributors, like foreign especially, and they
Mhm.
know which names these markets care about. So they'll
Mm.
know like Denise Richards matters and like put her in your movie, right? So
Yeah.
it's like I think that depending on the level that you're at, like these are the things that you have to factor in, right? Like but I will say that I don't necessarily think just a following even moves the needle because again, it's like are they going to post and just because somebody follows somebody for free doesn't mean they're going to pay for something somebody was in. It doesn't always
Mhm.
translate. Like I know a lot of people that's why they'll hire these like people with, you know, not actors, they'll hire like influencers or TikTok people or whatever with like big followings in their movies. And I've talked to so many people where they're like, this did not do anything. It like did not translate. Because again, just because I'll watch your TikTok videos for free doesn't mean I'm paying $7 or $4 to watch you in a movie. Like it's not a one-to-one, right?
Yeah. 100. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, my first movie that was all social media people essentially that could act and we had about 10 million followers amongst the whole cast. But again, it didn't translate. It was that thing where people just say, "Oh yeah, I hope they'll post." And some did. Some did, others did, others didn't. But yeah, I mean, it moved the needle a little bit, but not nearly as much as you would think. You can't just assume that because you have someone with a million subscribers on YouTube that all of a sudden this movie's going to get a million views or
Because again,
but
it's like free. Yeah, it is interesting that it doesn't translate for whatever reason, right? It's
yeah.
very interesting. And it's the same thing kind of like again, we're talking about the next level up. Like if you're talking about foreign markets and you're talking about like pre-sales and stuff, like getting names attached to your projects, it's really interesting to talk to these companies and get the list of people who like matter to them because it's not always who you think it would be, if that makes sense. Like you could be looking at certain stars and you're like, oh, this like if I get this person attached to my movie, like this is gonna be the thing. This is gonna make a huge difference. So they're like, them, we don't care about them. Give us this person. You're like, that person. You know, it's weird because I don't know. Again, nobody knows anything, and we're all like throwing spaghetti at a wall, like seeing what sticks. So, obviously, they have some experience of knowing that, like, you know, they have a track record that like this person performs well in certain markets or whatever. But yeah, point being, it's a lot of like crystal ball looking for us as filmmakers. Like, ooh, this person will be the one. I don't know, right? It's like
Right.
we're like
Right.
making our best guesses here, and a lot of times what we think will move the needle and be the thing isn't really the thing, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, I think you went about it the right way, especially when it comes to Lexi, is that the genre essentially is the star, right? The genre, and that's kind of a universal thing where no matter if you have known actors, unknown actors, you have a known genre, the paranormal activity type movie, where you can really you sell that. That's the
Yes, like
you're
with that
selling that
built-in
genre.
fan base that will like consume that because they love the genre, and that is the thing that you need. Yeah, for sure.
Totally, totally. All right, so we're coming up to our last few questions here, but yeah. So what is next for you? What is next for you? What do you got going
Yeah.
on?
TBD. So I like have some scripts I'm working on. Again, we're like kind of just waiting it out a little bit to see like what the next step will be. But yeah, I'll definitely be doing probably a couple shorts this year just for funsies, just to get some stuff out there and have fun. I'm probably gonna do like a funny stunt comedy short with one of my friends who was the stunt coordinator on Cold Was the Wind. She's an actress and an awesome stunt coordinator. So that probably will be the next thing I do. Always writing, always working on things. Yeah, have some ideas, like might explore another found footage film, because those are like we'll see TBD. And then always I'm auditioning and acting, and hopefully you'll see me in something good. Hopefully I'll book one of these damn things that's awesome soon,
Yes.
and you'll see me in something fun.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, well, what's been the most fun in terms of your biggest set and the most fun so far in your career? What's been the
The
best
most
experience?
fun, shouldn't I have like an obvious answer for that? I've had so many bad ones. Is it awful? I mean, okay, so Dexter will always be awesome because it was the first thing I did
Mhm.
that I watched. So that was like that's always gonna be a highlight for me because it's just like so easy. And then it sounds terrible, but like Disgraced, my web series was such. I had like the most fun on that because it was like a interesting like short format. It was like we had more flexibility with it because it's like web series. You can your storytelling can be whatever, and like for whatever reason, the gods that smiled on me on that one, those are the same gods that punished me for Cold Was the Wind. But like that production went so well. Like it was just like my car they did fry my car. I am remembering that. My car
Fry your car?
Yeah, my key got lost on set, and then
Oh
the person
no.
had to come and like make a new key, and the person who did it like fried the battery of my car.
Oh no.
And we had to like leave it at the anyway. That was a whole okay. So there was one bad thing, but that was it. The rest of it was really fun and easy. So that was like I probably had the most fun doing that. That was my first time like stepping into like on a bigger project, because we had multiple days of filming. I had done some shorts and stuff before that, but like and actually had done a pilot. But that was like I felt like I had reached that sweet spot of like figuring out how to juggle all those hats and still
Mhm.
have a lot of fun. And that was like that I think was like the best example of that for me. Like I had so much fun on that project. I loved like all of it. So yeah, that's probably the most fun I've had,
Wow.
even though it's mine. Yeah, for big things, I've had a lot of, I think I'm due for like a good big project where people are nice. 'Cause I've had a lot of
Yes. Right. I know. Is that so much to ask for? Is-
Yep, good times. Good times.
yeah. Okay. So, and where can people watch Disgraced?
Yeah, so it's on Tubi and Amazon, and also I think we still have it on YouTube as well. So yeah, you can watch it anywhere you would like on the interwebs.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome, guys. Yeah, especially Tubi. It makes it really easy, guys. Check out Disgraced on Tubi. Also, check out Cold Blows the Wind on Tubi. And check out Lexi, the found footage movie. And look out for more things. I'm excited to talk more. Hopefully I can have you back on another time.
I'd love to. Yes.
Okay, awesome.
I'll crank something out, and then we'll come talk again.
Perfect. Perfect, guys. Yes. In fact, and follow Victoria Vertuga wherever she goes. What's the best way to follow?
Yeah, I'm just at Victoria Vertuga, my whole name on all the places. So find me there.
Awesome.
Say hi. Don't be shy.
Say hi. Don't be shy. I say that all the time. That's great. That's funny. Well, thank you so much for being on, Victoria.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So fun.
Yeah, it's been really awesome, guys. Hit that like button if you guys liked it, and subscribe for more. We put out a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. This is movie night. Uncanny. We're gonna have Uncanny on Friday. Yes, more friends of the podcast. We're going to talk about a movie that has been banned in U.S. and Canada, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire, a movie they made in 1996, right when they were popping off. It's a really interesting subject. I just learned about this whole movie. So that's going to be a fun episode on Friday. We're going to talk about that on Friday the 13th. Oh, I meant to ask you. Okay, you were on the TV show Friday the 13th.
Yes.
What was that like?
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun. Like, yeah.
Okay. Can we watch? Well, there you go. That's all you need to know.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Is that out? Can we watch that? Where can we watch that?
It should be
What
somewhere.
episode
I
are
literally
you?
have no idea where it might be, but it's probably somewhere.
Okay, it's probably somewhere.
It's out
All
there
right,
somewhere.
it's out there somewhere. Thank you guys for subscribing, and yes, we'll hope to have you on soon.
Yeah.
All right, Victoria. Okay, thank you guys. It's been movie night. Tremain Hayhoe signing out.
Like and subscribe, it's movie night. Hayhoe Studios, feeling